Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another massive bungle from the Arknights Endfield developers. Another massive mishap that's going to damage their reputation and probably also get the game even lower ratings than it currently has on the Google Play Store. And you might be wondering what I'm talking about over here, right? You might be wondering why the rating is at 3.4, and there's a lot of reasons for it. The bad monetization, the absolute absence of free-to-play pulls, and the fact that you basically need to play the game like a job, literally play for dozens of hours, skip everything in the story, like just play the game like a machine, and have prior closed beta test knowledge to be anywhere close to 120 pulls by the time Surtur's banner ends. And so people are naturally upset by that, right? But there was something great that came in the mail a couple of days ago. The official, or really the non-official, disguised apology for the PayPal mishap, where they decided at an odd number of 30 million downloads. Who knows why they chose 30? Seems to conveniently line up with when the PayPal issue occurred. And they gave out a 10 pull, right? For appreciation, or as many will honestly refer to it as, an actual apology, right? So that all occurred, and people viewed this as an opportunity. Hey, we can finally start actually re-rolling accounts. Because re-rolling, because of the lack of free-to-play pulls that I mentioned, guys, let me just show you how it kind of works for free-to-plays at the moment. Let me just give you like a little bit of a look over here. This is the number of pulls that I have as somebody who's only spent 4 of them. 3 of those were the free ones that you get and you had to spend anyways, so I've reasonably only spent 500 oro barrels on this banner. I have roughly like 50 pulls right now. And that's counting using some of the premium resource. That's about 50 fucking pulls. And the thing is, guys, I'm at like level 31, authority level 31. My factory's like pretty robust, as you can see over here, using 720 energy. I've got like regional development and stuff. Like, bro, I'm at like level 3 over here, level 1 over here, almost maxed out over here. I'm probably actually, oh great, I'm maxed up. I can take that guy to level 2 right now. I'm progressed in the game. I played for a lot of hours, and it's not likely that there are a bunch of people, right, that are like way ahead of me. And I have no fucking pulls. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Surtur at all before her banner ends because the rate is so low and it's so slow. So re-rolling and using those 10 pulls to maybe get Surtur on the rate up early, win the 50-50, get a strong unit to go carry you through the early game, it's one of the best ways to actually play this game. And so re-rolling, there's a ton of benefit to it. And it got way better because you used to only get 5 or 6 rolls by the time you unlock the gacha. Before, now you get 16. And that literally triples, if not more, your odds of actually getting the unit early, right? And we've already talked about, with the lack of pulls, how great that is for your account. Hypergryph apparently heard as well because they did this in response. Remember that I'm showing you the Google Play Store rating, right? The Google Play Store rating of this game. Google. These devs decided that they were going to ban Gmail accounts from making Griffline accounts because it's too easy to salt a Gmail email to re-roll it. So let me just give you a bit of an, and this one's gonna be funny. So basically, right, if you wanted to salt an email, this would just be what you would, this is what your original email would be, right? testemail@gmail.com. You could then salt it to have emails sent to it by just doing a little bit of this, right? testemail@gmail.com. And that would send all of the emails to this address. It would be counted as a separate one, right? They would send it to this one. And so basically, you could use one account to re-roll a bunch of them. Because this was too easy, guys, they banned this. Because Gmail, the most popular email provider on the planet, that's the default for all Android devices, and is like, again, one of the main ways that people just use email on the PC, they banned that because it was too good for re-rolling. As if the system wasn't predatory enough. They're so greedy, guys. They need their hand. Like,
yes. We need them. We need to make this as hard as possible. They really need to work for it.
They decided to ban the most popular email provider on Earth to get as much as they possibly could out of every player. Guys, Remember what I talked about before? This is the Google Play Store. These guys, in their pursuit of every dollar they possibly could, these guys, in their massive fucking greed, banned Gmail when the Google Play Store is one of the main outlets to download this game. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the rating for this tanks lower and lower because of that. In what universe have you ever seen a developer ban the most popular email provider because they had to make sure that the reward they sent wasn't going to be too good? Guys, they banned Gmail because of the compensation they created. They designed the compensation and then push out a nerf because it's too good for free-to-plays. And who cares, right? And this is going to be the thing, guys. Some people are saying, oh, it might be fixed. Oh, it might be adjusted. Oh, they might have gotten the feedback. This is dog shit. I don't care if it got fixed. I don't care if that was the previous state and it's different now. They already did this. And guess what, guys? If you're somebody that lost a day in the game, right? That's another day of dailies lost. That's another day of like whatever lost. This was all done in an attempt to delay people from whatever they're trying to do in the fucking game. And so maybe they got the feedback immediately. You guys are being greedy pieces of shit. Fix it. Don't do this. And they might have fixed it already. I don't care if they fixed it. This is just like the fucking PayPal thing. Who the fuck cares if you got 15K stolen from you and they gave it back after they got caught? You'd probably still be mad, right? You probably still think that they should be punished still, right? And so if they ban Gmail right after they gave out the reward and then they fix it later, I don't fucking care. They banned it in the first place. And so some people are telling me to test it. I don't feel like I don't feel like exposing my fucking Gmails live on stream. And so just know that it happened. I don't care if it got fixed. This is just like the fucking PayPal thing. I don't particularly care if it works now. I care about the fact that they banned it before. And so, if they fixed it, that means they got caught again. They got caught again. What is this link? Yeah, that's just another person showing that, yes, guys, you can see over here, this is a separate image. Yeah, as you can see, right, that's a separate image from a separate client. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter here is not that they fixed it after getting caught, that they fixed it after getting feedback. It's the fact that these devs are even doing these things in the fucking first place. Because how in God's name is it even a slightly reasonable response that you start banning a platform that makes your reward too easy to use? You made this award. You're the ones that sent it out, and now the players are the ones getting inconvenienced, or the players are the ones getting punished entirely because of the things that the developer team decided to do. And this is following the PayPal fiasco that they still have yet to make any public acknowledgement of in-game. And of course, they're not going to talk about the fact that Gmail got banned. They're not going to give out compensation for the fact that they banned Gmail and inconvenienced a bunch of new players because of that. Because guess what? Who got inconvenienced? Anyone that tried to play this game from here. And it's not surprising that people would play a mobile gacha game from the mobile app store from the most common email provider on the planet. So you want to know why I bet it got reverted so fast? Why do you think? I don't know. You tell me. Why do you think it got reverted so fast? I don't know. Maybe because they banned Gmail on the Google Play Store. I bet Google complained. I legitimately think Google probably complained. They're like, why the fuck are you banning us? You're on our app store. How are you banning us? We'll take you off the App Store, bitch. That's what I bet the exchange was. Literally, that's what I bet the exchange was on call. Why are we banned? We'll ban you. Unban us, retard. This is the type of shit where you look at how it occurred. You look at all the details leading up to the circumstances, and you can't help but think that the team managing this game is actually dumb. Like, you look at like the cause and effect of all these different things that have occurred surrounding this game's release. How in God's name do these things even happen? How short-sighted and just greedy and dumb and just like not cognizant of like underlying circumstances or like what's like the after effects. There's just not a single brain cell in that fucking leadership room even thinking about any of these. All they're thinking about is, how can I make as much fucking money as I can? How can I make money? How can I put FOMO in the game? How can I lie to my players by advertising weapon tickets as a reward from the weekly mode, but make it take 20 weeks to get a single 10 pull? Because you get 100 fucking tickets a week, and you need 2,000 for a 10 pull, and you need 4 10 pulls for a guarantee. Sorry, do you need 4? I think you might need more than 4. Don't you? Wait, you need more than 4, don't you? Don't you need 8? So yeah, it takes you like 4 years to get a 10 pull. Yeah, it takes you like 4 fucking years to get a guarantee. That's the system. That's what they said they added to the game as income, boys. It takes you 4 fucking years to get a guarantee off this system. Then, in their rebate store, and guys, this is the rebate store they're talking about. Guys, in this rebate store, this is your rebate for your 4-star units, right? The AIC quota store over here. This is where your like dupes go into. You can only get, guys, you can only get expiring limited pulls here. These are only for the Surtur banner that ends in like 12 days. And if you don't reach pity, this will all reset. So your rebate from the store only turns into the temporary pulls. Your 5 stars will turn into permanent ones. Don't worry though. But your 4 stars, which are basically the blue coral in this game, which turns into permanent pulls in pretty much every other gacha. You get permanent pulls from, you know, your 3-star pulls in every other gacha. In this game, you only get temporary ones. So if you're not pulling on Surtur, don't even bother. Otherwise, well, think about it this way. You're wasting all the resources that you could be spending on the banner you'll actually go to pity on. And that's going to be a bunch of pity you're not getting back. Just letting you know. That's another way that these devs are nickel and diming you and, you know, operating like the greediest fuckers you've ever seen. And then you have comments like these, right? These should just be the permanent ones. They know people won't get to 120 pulls in time, so they try to pressure into buying so that these tickets don't go to waste. These are the same guys putting FOMO into every single place they possibly can. They're banning Gmail after they realized their compensation was too good for rerolling when their game is on the fucking App Store. It's the most mismanaged game I've ever seen. This is literally, easily, the most mismanaged game I've ever seen. And it's such a fucking tragedy because the game itself is actually good, but it has the most boneheaded, anti-player, free-to-play, unfriendly monetization I've ever seen. And it makes nobody want to spend money on the game. Literally, I look at people see this, they see the promises the devs made, and they don't want to spend money. Guys, they don't have a selector for the 5-star, and so they just made it so that half the players, 20% of players immediately just want to uninstall because they got a copy of Ardelia, and her first dupe is dog shit. And because there's no selector, everyone gets Ardelia. If you get a copy of her, your account is basically bricked. You have a useless 6-star. And so there's so many people that just quit the game. They just quit the game after this happens to them. But, like, it's so easy to make this not happen, and then the player will want to spend money, right, if they play long enough. But you've added a literal game quit angle from you. Guys, it's not even hard to get that character either, because you get her for free, right? We just talked about that, but you have a 20% chance of getting her from every 50-50 loss or on the standard banner. So it's like, you have a good chance of getting her anyways, and so it just makes you wonder, why the fuck was this just not a selector so that people don't uninstall the game if they lose to her? How is Ardelia useless, though? Okay. Okay, we'll do a little bit of education. Don't worry, I got you. No child left behind, as they do say, right? Yeah, where is it? Okay, here we go. How is Ardelia useless, though? I don't get that logic. Like, you got the character, you're bricked. So, if you don't realize that you get the character for free and that the character's first copy is useless, that means that getting 2 copies of them is useless. And it's functionally the same as having 1. So it's like -1 6-stars if you get her. Is that not clear? Are you saying dupes are useless? I'm saying her first dupe is useless. Couldn't have just been a selector instead. Yeah, that's what I just said. I get it. Okay, it wasn't that complicated, so it's just odd that you took a long time with your response, so now people think you have low brain power. I'm sorry, I'm just telling the truth. Anyways, you can clearly see what's going on over here. This is the most clueless developer team I've ever seen. And an incident like this is just the cherry on top, especially following that this was the same day they gave their compensation. It's a monkey's paw with this company. I'm starting to realize that. And it's worse than Hoyoverse. Hoyoverse was known as the company that would take something away after they give you something. That title now belongs easily to Hypergryph. Because holy fucking shit, I don't think anyone has ever felt like this disrespected by like a developer team before for the awful sin of just playing their fucking game. Genuinely. Like, I have never felt this. Like, I feel like I'm picking up. Imagine getting paid at your job and it's all in pennies. That's what this game feels like. I'm sitting here spending most of my time collecting pennies instead of like actually playing the fucking game. And I can't but help but think, good lord, you get nothing for doing anything in this title. You have to play this game like a fucking job. But don't worry, guys. You'll have the biggest shills in the space telling you shit like this. CN confirms Arknight's Enfield's launch to have at least 120 limited pulls for free to play. This was achieved in 2 days by somebody who had hundreds of hours of experience in the beta, knew how to speedrun the game to get the most Oreo geometries possible, and then also played for 24 plus hours in a row in the first 2 days following the release. That's all information Pokey decided to omit from the opening post to, of course, spread as much misinformation as possible and shield the game from criticism. But don't worry, guys. As you can see over here, pull income might actually be horrendous. Fuck ton of upvotes. Why are we suddenly okay with FOMO on the rebate store? Fuck ton of upvotes. Why is no one talking about how bad the weekly polls are? Fuck ton of upvotes. And of course, my favorite post here. At this point, the progression feels excessive and raises serious concerns about the overall fairness of the summoning system. 4K. Fuck ton of upvotes. The community's waking up, right? Clearly, to how awfully this game is being run. And when content creators openly hyper-grifting for the game have said shit as ridiculous as pity carry forward being useless, and it's just a psychological hook, when the biggest fucking psychological hook in the space right fucking here on these expiring polls in the rebate store, this is the real psychological hook. And so, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Hypergryph has done it again. In a game and in a monetization system where you thought it couldn't get worse, they made it worse. But who cares, right? Hey, maybe Gmail works now. Like I said before, I don't give a fuck. I care more about the fact that they thought that this was a good decision to do in the first place. And that they feel like those are the types of decisions that they're willing to make for literally pennies. Because how much additional dollars do you think they got for doing this? How much additional money do you think people topped up because they did this? I hope it's negative. And I hope that all that happened for this is that people quit the fucking game. And looking at the ratings over here on this app store, it seems like that's what occurred. Haven't seen anything more deserved, and it's awful when you consider the amount of work that was done on this game. I think it's ruined by publishers. And the craziest thing is, Hypergryph is the publisher of this game. So they ruined it themselves. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.